The following program is rated TVMA. What you are about to watch contains explicit language, adult themes, violence, and may not be suitable for viewers under 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to What the Nuts, the podcast where we talk about all the things that make you go nuts. I'm your host, the Blue Collar Joe, and I'm here to share some of the most outrageous stories, the most mind-boggling facts, and the most hilarious jokes that you'll ever hear. So if you're ready to have your mind blown, your side split, and your jaw dropped, then sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Today we're talking about, I'm gonna share a little story that I used to tell in when I was in the penitentiary. I was in drug rehab yard, and they gave me an opportunity to be an inspirational speaker, so to say. Okay. So this is one that I actually spoke a lot about. I thought it was a very inspirational story, and I think that once we get into it and you start to learn a little bit more about the subject, then you might see the inspiration in the story as well. So the subject of what I'm going to talk about today is Walt Disney. Okay. Now I know a lot of people are like, Walt Disney this, Walt Disney that, the Disney Corporation. We're not talking about the Disney Corporation as we know it today. We're going to go ahead and we're gonna go back in the way back machine to the year of 1901, right? So in 1901, on December 5th, in Hermosa, Illinois, was born a young man who was named Walter Elias Disney. Now, he grew up in Illinois. Later on, okay, as he got older, he learned how to draw. He learned how to, animate, and, he loved telling stories. He was really good at weaving a tale together and sharing an experience with people. So, and I believe it was, I want to say 1921. 1921, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was 1921. At the time, he was 19 years old. He started a company with somebody, and it was called Laugh-O-Gram Studios, and it was in Kansas City. So he had moved from Illinois to Kansas, and they started this company. Okay. Now, I wasn't able to find out a bunch of facts about this, but what I did find out was that because of at the time there was some shady lending practices that the bank that he got a loan from foreclosed on him, and then he had to file for bankruptcy. So, but after the bankruptcy, right? And he had to jump back on the bandwagon, basically, right? He had to get back in it. And let's see here. Let me get back into my notes right quick here. Okay, so his spirit led him co-found another animation company known as Disney Brothers Studios, along with his brother Roy. Okay. But a contractual dispute over the Oswald the Lucky Rabbit series, which had been created at Laugh-O-Gram. Okay. His partner at Laugh-O-Gram was a real jackhole. I mean, he stole Oswald the Lucky Rabbit from him. But it was from this when he lost Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, he actually created Steamboat Willie. Now, some of you won't recognize that name. Steamboat Willie, you're like, oh, what the heck is Steamboat Willie? Okay. Steamboat Willie was the first incarnation of Mickey Mouse. And from Mickey Mouse, okay, so prior to Mickey Mouse and prior to Steamboat Willie, Walt Disney would create these characters, right? Develop them and try and sell them to other studios so that he could, support the new company. Okay. And he got rejected over 300 times. Now, you would think a man who his first company failed, his second company is going through like financial difficulty. He's always having to go back to his parents or back like to the bank, and he's asking for money everywhere he can, and he can't sell any of his characters to any of the other animation studios. So, his persistence and dogged determination, he secured the contract for Steamboat Willie. At the time, I don't remember exactly how many cartoons Steamboat Willie was. I should have probably checked into that. But Steamboat Willie, otherwise known as Mickey Mouse, was the character that shot Walt Disney into the limelight. I mean, it rocketed him straight to the stars. Yeah. I mean, okay, so you got to understand. Let me put this in perspective. So not only was he rejected over 300 times for different characters that he was trying to sell, trying to give to studio, trying to sell to studios, He also filed for bankruptcy multiple times. Not necessarily the kind where you have to sell off all your assets, but like the bankruptcy restructuring, the this and that, I couldn't find the exact number. I believe it was 7 different times he filed for bankruptcy, but I could be incorrect on that. It could be quite more. But if you look at back then till now, where Walt Disney is, right? Walt Disney was one of those guys that he didn't take no for an answer. He didn't, he kept knocking on doors. He would come up with an idea. He would come up with a story, and he would go with it. And he animated a lot of the early works the Disney empire holds. Hey guys, let me tell you about a partnership I'm with. Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is a website where you can buy games, software, and other digital content at a great price. And you help out charities. They have bundles. You can buy games. You can buy books. You can even learn to code. And all for a low price. But Humble Bundle also gives back to charity. A portion of your purchase goes to support a variety of causes. So you can feel good about your purchase, knowing that you're helping others. And if you're looking for a great way to save money on games and software and you want to support a good cause, Humble Bundle is the perfect place for you. Check it out today. So let me tell you about the organization that I support through Humble Bundle. The organization is known as the Honor Crew. It's an organization dedicated to helping families and spouses of deployed military personnel. A lot of the time when a spouse is deployed and their significant other is at home, a lot of times there's things that they can't do around the house, and they can't afford to have them fixed, because some contractors are quite expensive. When I found out about what they were doing and the mission of the Honor Crew, I said, I got to be a part of that. I come from a military family. All of their services are free of charge. They don't charge anything to come cut your lawn or trim the trees or any of those things. Humble Bundle's link in the description. You want to go check it out. Let's see here. Okay, so in 1921 he failed. In 1928 he moved to California. Okay. And he started the Disney animation company with his brother, with the backing of his mom and dad, the financial backing of his mom and dad. And then of course it took him multiple attempts to come up with something that would launch his career. I mean, he was just an animator. He was a nobody in LA. He was a nobody. So he definitely embraced a lot of his failures as stepping stones, and that's kind of how that's where this story you can mirror it in your own life, because if you think about it, every little setback that you have and you learn from it, and you're like, okay, well that didn't work. Let's try it another way. That is a testament, to not only, not only. I'm not saying that you can't be like what you want to be, because you can. You just have to have the determination, the drive, the zeal, I mean, you got to understand, the Great Depression was going on, right? There was a lot of messed up stuff. And at the time, but literally, he kept plugging along. He kept saying, hey, here I am. I'm right here. Let me knock on that door. Let me share this. Let me share this. This character with you. And here's the story that I wanna do. So let's see here. Even when the world was gripped with depression. Okay, so during the Great Depression, he came up with the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, the film's initial distribution fell. He couldn't find nobody to distribute the movie. He had this blockbuster, this Snow White and Seven Dwarfs movie, black and white, motion picture. It was a full-length motion picture. It was a full-length motion picture, and he was trying to get I believe he was trying to get it to run as a short, like he would do that. He would try and tag a short onto someone else's movie, just so he could, get his name out there. Like he was never like he was tenacious. Walt Disney was tenacious. And you can if you look at the Disney franchise, right? And you look at some of the early works, you can go, hey, Walt Disney was really like all about the family, and he loved making people happy and seeing people smile. I just know that his life is just, it's a wonderful display of what you can do, what is attainable. Because you can sit there and be all down in the dumps and be, in your mind just running the nasty stinking thinking through your head, and that'll keep you down. All right, that'll keep you down for sure. Let's see here. All right, so if you look at, let's say, Cinderella, Simba from The Lion King, Marlin from Finding Nemo, he showcased the significance of family bonds, right? He was looking at the family to give them entertainment that was good and wholesome. He didn't he wasn't, if you look, none of the early works that Walt Disney had a hand in, all right? Because if you don't know, Walt Disney actually he was there in the day-to-day of a lot of the animations. So let's see here. Lost my fucking spot. Okay, so in 1955, okay, In 1955, Walt Disney decided that he was gonna start Disneyland, right? And there were some serious challenges with him getting Disneyland built. He had to go. I mean, he had to beg, borrow, and steal to try and get Disneyland built. There were a lot of times that he would stay at the park. He had built what do you call it? A little apartment there, and he would stay in the park overnight. And he oversaw everything. When you come into Disneyland, you can tell it's definitely geared towards the family. It's definitely a place where you're going to have a good time. They're looking for you to have a good time. You know, it's all about entertainment and whatnot. And I think that if Walt Disney was still alive today, that he would. I know that the Disney family doesn't really own. I can't say for certain because I didn't look into it, but last I heard, the Disney family was no longer. The ones that are alive are no longer involved in the day-to-day running of the company. So, but I can definitely if you just use logical thinking and you look at how things were ran when Disney was around, and then you look at how they're ran now, you can tell that definitely Disney would not approve of this. He was all about the nuclear family. He did not want the nuclear family getting blown up and, taken apart and any of that. But the theme park, everybody doubted that Disneyland was going to be a success. Everyone doubted. He'd go to Banks, and Banks would laugh him out of the, they'd laugh him up right out of the bank. And so most of the money that was his own, he found a few investors that were willing to take a chance on him. Okay. I want to conclude with this. All right, cuz I don't know how well this is going to go over. But I want to conclude with this. As we conclude our journey through the life of Walt Disney, we find ourselves inspired by a man who transformed setbacks into successes, failures into stepping stones, and dreams into reality. His story carries a profound message of perseverance, creative resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of dreams. Through his characters, his parks, and his enduring legacy, he teaches us to value the bonds of family and to view life's challenges as opportunities for growth. May we take these lessons to heart as we navigate our own journeys, embracing our failures and striving for success with unwavering determination. So keep that in mind. Walt Disney would want to see you succeed. Even through all the struggles and all the strife and all the bickering and whatnot, I want to see you succeed. I always tell my kids, I always tell them all, look, I want you to make good decisions. If you don't make good decisions, that's cool. But learn from your bad decisions and make good decisions the next time. Because from my own experience, I haven't always made good decisions. I mean, shit, a third of my life was in prison. I spent about 15 years in and out of the penitentiary. I used to tell people that I was doing life on the installment plan. Because I'd get out, I'd enjoy a few, month, a year, and I'd end up going back in for something stupid. So I'll leave you with that your success is determined by your perseverance. You can have that little, like I said, you can have that little voice in your head that's saying, oh, you'll never make it. Oh, you know what? Talk to those guys who are DJs. You have to start somewhere. Like DJs fucking started doing, wedding parties and fucking quinceañeras and high school homecomings, right? And then some of them actually freaking hit it big and was like, yeah, man, check this out. And they did their thing. And then someone seen them and was like, hey, man, I'd like for you to come do my show and get you some more exposure. So those are just a few examples. But Walt Disney is one of the best examples because he grew his brand to a worldwide empire. And you can do that too. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Got mad love for you. I got some new videos coming out soon. We'll see if I can get them done in between recording this podcast and working and whatnot. But like I said, if you made it this far, I love you. You're gonna do great things. Make good decisions. I'm your host, Blue Collar Joe, and we're gone like a fart in the wind.
looking for me, bitch. Here I go. I heard you've been looking for me, bitch. Here I go. I hear that you're looking for me, bitch. Here I go.